I woke up with a sweat inside my palms, my arms heavy with the weight of the world. I ran 10 kilometers trying to find myself, only to realize that I left myself inside my head. But I've yet to get inside my head. Inside my head, there's this war taking place. The whole world is inside my head. I keep on trying to hide, but where is a safe place for me? Where can I go? The year is 2016. I feel like I'm 16. My bruised heart keeps on trying to win the heart of the society. Am I failing or winning? I'm actually drowning. Fear's the only feeling I experience. Every day I dig a hole in the back of my mother's yard. My mother's backyard is located in the corner of my ear. Every time I see people, I cover my ears. That way I feel safe. I want the society to accept me, but I fear the society. People are not going to like me. Rejection is my biggest fear.
What is anxiety? Or rather, where does anxiety come from? Okay, personally, speaking from experience, when I hear the word anxiety, I immediately think of fear and the sense to worry. You see, I'm the kind of person who worries a lot, and that has a lot to do with paranoia. And those fears come from memories, past and present memories. They are constantly filling up my head. And when I find myself sitting alone, I think back to the memories that I'm scared of. Or rather, I think of reenactments or how differently I could have treated or reacted to some situations. And then suddenly I feel anxious. So basically, for me, anxiety is a problem because I can't seem to calm myself when I'm in a state of being anxious and being scared. Nothing can calm me down. If I think of something in my head, I really believe it. And I have no question about it. Like, I feel scared, anxious, and cold. For me, anxiety is a disease. It's sickening, actually. It's a horrible feeling. Being in constant darkness and a place of fear. It's scary.
Anxiety is evil. Anxiety is a demon. I strongly believe that the root cause of anxiety is obsession with self condemnation. Self condemnation is anti self, it's believing that we are not worthy, it's self hate, self unforgiveness, self rejection, fearing the unknown, doubting ourselves, low self esteem, lack of confidence, judging ourselves harshly, and
Oh, I
punishing
mean, it's a
ourselves.
norm. It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing when you are faced with a certain situation, but when it starts controlling your everyday life, your your every decision, then it it goes beyond being nervous or being worried. It's now anxiety, and I think the most constant form of anxiety that we all experience on most times is when we have those mental blocks when you are studying for an exam. Yeah, that's one form of anxiety.
It's a feeling that you can't really explain. I mean, it's nervousness on a whole nother level. I mean, for example, like take a job interview. You go into the office or the boardroom, they were expected to present your pitch, or to be interviewed, and you think you did well. I mean, you go in there with all sorts of confidence, but there's something inside your stomach that just says, "Man, if I don't get this job, it's over. I mean, it's over for me." So basically, that's what anxiety really is. I mean,
Me personally, well, I believe there are two kinds of anxieties, a bad one and a good type of anxiety. A bad is when I got caught with an illegal substance and I had to go to the security offices, and I was anxious because I didn't know what was going to happen. Was I going to get expelled? Was I going to get, I don't know. But then there's a good anxiety, like when you're running to be RC or whatever portfolio you opt for. That kind of anxiety drives you. The anxiety you feel before you perform, perhaps, before you recite, before you sing.
It breeds a scene in your mind where every little life problem that you experience is exaggerated and blown way out of proportion. And that scene makes you nervous and scared than you should realistically be. And that overly dramatic nervousness breeds more nerves because you know there's absolutely no fucking reason to be this nervous.
Or let me just pick an example from maybe a personal experience. Um, I usually just sit there, come up maybe with ideas, concepts, but me taking them to the world, it's very difficult, in the sense that I think about the reception. I don't know how people would receive them. So there's that kind of uncertainty and fear of maybe people will judge me for being me.
You are just unease. You worry, you become nervous, you start shaking, your heart rate elevates, you have concern, you breathe heavily, you are agitated, you are fearful, you panic, you are restless.
I, I get very, very anxious when I have to write tests and exams because I don't know exactly what to expect from it. So that whole nervous feeling and worrying about it because I'm not really sure of the outcome is what I would call anxiety, because I feel worried and nervous.
I remember I had just finished studying for an exam, and I walked into the exam room and question papers were being handed out as usual. And just after people had started with the examination, I started having heart palpitations. I had a blackout and I was sweating. I was running short of breath. I couldn't understand what was happening. I literally could not see anything in front of my eyes for a good 5 minutes.
I was going to write a test, and then I realized as I was studying, I was like, it was the day before the test. And then I realized that as I was studying, I didn't know quite a chunk of the work that I had to know for the test. So I went into panic mode, and for me, when I have an attack, I just have like my heart beats really fast. Like right now, I'm like having an attack, I think. But anyway, my heart beats really fast, and I have like very short breaths. So it's also almost like I'm having an asthma attack.
Maybe something good can come out of it. And I'm not saying everybody can see it in that light, or I'm not saying they should just accept it, but if it's bad for you, get rid of it.
Anxiety comes from hoping. It comes from failure. It comes from not being honest with yourself or others, hiding the truth, not wanting something to the point that you deny its existence. You'll hope for one thing and something else will come up. The different outcome that comes up instead of the one you had hoped for causes the anxiety. You'll be there working your butt off to reach a goal, only for life to throw a curveball, and you'll be left with disappointment, regret, the constant what ifs, the constant buts. I know anxiety personally. I know how it feels, and I know what it comes with. Even though I don't know how to overcome it yet, let alone how to avoid it altogether.
You see, anxiety is not all that bad. Sometimes it's the kind of right negative energy you need to motivate yourself into doing the opposite. Something positive and constructive.
Oh, and I'm not an expert. Like, I'm not a psychologist, but yeah, that's just experience.